Tortellini is a very daunting thing. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right here, but with a couple of twists. Hi there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my tips and tricks on how to get the most amazing tortellini. So first let's start with the meat, and the meat of choice is the short rib. It has amazing flavour and the perfect amount of fat that we can render down and turn into full flavour. Also, it's a tougher part of the animal, and because we're going to be slow cooking it, we're going to make it really nice and tender and soft. And so the secret to get a nice crust is to salt it a good half an hour before. Make sure you use plenty of salt, and it's going to draw out all that moisture. And then just leave it to sit, literally half an hour to 45 minutes. You can't quite see on camera, but after 30 minutes, the moisture is starting to be drawn out. So you want to pat it dry all the way around with a paper towel. Try and get rid of that moisture. This is kind of acting as a very light cure. So once all your meat has been patted dry, into a pan with a touch of oil, and get that heat up high. You want the pan really hot before you put the meat in, because you don't want the meat to cool the pan down. You want to make sure you get that nice crusty sear. If when you put your meat in, you don't hear that really loud crackle, and you don't see it slightly starting to smoke, then it means it's not hot enough. Take it out, wait a little bit longer. And we're just looking for a nice brown golden colour all the way around the meat, and make sure you turn it round and get every side. You can see it's starting to get some nice colour on now, sealing in all that beautiful flavour and rendering out that fat that's going to enhance the dish completely. So once you've got decent colour all the way around the meat, you can remove the meat into a bowl and leave to the side for now. And then as you can see, what's left in the pan is that beautiful fond on the bottom with all that nice rendered fat. Perfect for cooking our onions in. So now we're going to throw in about half a white onion, nice and finely diced. Make sure you cook them onions off for a little bit before you add in a touch of cracked black pepper and a good amount of salt. This will help break down the onions and release all that flavour. Then throw in 3 cloves of garlic, finely diced, and start to cook that off before throwing in 150 grams of tomato puree. Then hit it with a splash of Worcestershire sauce, a teaspoon of whole grain mustard, 1 whole anchovy. Don't worry, it's not going to make it fishy, it's just going to enhance the flavour. Then once that's started to cook off, add in 2 tablespoons of flour. This will help just thicken the whole thing up. And then bring your meat back to the party. The only thing missing when sitting in a nice tomato hot tub is a nice cold beer. So let's open a nice dark beer and add that to the mix. Then you want to bring the whole thing up to the boil. If the beer doesn't quite cover the meat completely, either add another beer, or you can top it up with some beef stock. But you want to make sure that your meat is underneath the water level. So stick a lid on and leave a little gap just to let a little bit of the steam out. And then when you see it come up to boil, vigorously like this, turn the heat down and let it just go for a nice rolling boil, and we're going to leave it for about 4 hours at a very low temperature. Then after 4 hours, lift the lid off and be prepared to be smacked in the face with a huge amount of flavourful smell. And just look at that, when I try and pull the bone out from the meat, it just slides straight out. So now we want to remove all the meat, leave it to the side, try and get it away from the sauce and let it cool down. While we strain the sauce through tiny sieve, removing all them extra bits of lumps and stuff so we get a nice smooth gravy. Just gently coaxing it through with the back of a spoon. And then once your meat is cooled enough to handle, not too far because it'll make the meat too tough, but you want to be able to run your fingers through without burning them, you want to start taking off the beautiful flesh from the fat and the sinew that we don't need. So just go through bit by bit, take your time and start ripping it to shreds. And then what better way to celebrate a party than with a huge sausage? Well, in this case, a big black pudding. But it's kind of the same thing. So we're going to rip a bit off and we're going to mix it through, about 200 grams worth. And then because the gravy's starting to cool, you'll be able to skim the fat off the top just a little bit to get at the beautiful flavour underneath. And you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of that on. Then, for the messy part, get stuck in with your fingers, mixing it all together, making it all nice and gooey. And that smells incredible. Then here's for the top secret part, wonton wrappers. It's exactly the same thing as pasta, but you can buy it in your local Asian market, and it's there, ready for you. I mean, if you want to make your own, I do have a video showing you exactly how to do that, but let your wonton wrapper packet defrost, take out a sheet and lay it on the side. Then with a touch of water, you're just going to run your finger all the way around the outside of the square, before gently filling the middle with our beautiful mixture. Don't put too much in, because then you'll end up overflowing them and they'll rip and it'll be a right mess. But then just from one corner to the other, fold it over into a little triangle and just gently press with the side of your fingers against it, seal it shut. Then pick it up and through your fingers, gently coaxing out the air before you seal the other side. And then hold the triangles in your fingers like this, and you're going to wet one side of the tab, and then on the other side, wet the inside of the other tab, if that makes any sense. And then just wrap it around your finger, pressing firmly and holding the tabs together to form these little tortellini triangles. And there you go, the perfect tortellini shape. Let me show you that one more time really fast. Wet around the edges, Put enough filling in but not too much, fold it over to make a triangle, pick it up and coax all the air out and fasten the other side. Wet the outside of one tab and the inside of the other, wrap it around your finger and pinch it together. Then place it on the side and look at how adorably cute it is. Then to cook these, bring a pan of water up to the boil, a rolling boil, and make sure it's salted heavily. You want to be able to taste that salt in the water. Then just lower your tortellini into the water, just gently swirl the water around when you put them in to stop them sticking to the bottom of the pan. And you're going to cook them for about 2.5 minutes until they start to flow. When they do start to flow, leave them for 30 seconds more before taking them out, laying them on a towel just to get rid of the excess water. And then transfer them to your plate of choice. In this case I went for a nice little bamboo wooden board. Tried to stand them up in a nice little cute row, add a touch of gravy all over the top of them. And then with tiny tweezers, place some micro herbs all around them to make them look fancy. And then with big tweezers, pick them up and enjoy them straight off the board. And these were incredible. Seriously, that flavour, the 4 hours cooking so tender, and that black pudding running through it just enhances the flavour. It's absolutely incredible. I know I seem to say that a lot, but seriously, this one was incredible. And if you like this video, make sure you stick around for more, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one, and remember to just keep cooking.